In this video, I'll be sharing my experience of flying with China Eastern Airlines on a long-haul flight from Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam to London, UK, with a 2-hour layover in Shanghai, China. I will cover my experience of departing from Ho Chi Minh City Airport, including the boarding process of China Eastern Airlines. I will also review the in-flight entertainment system, meals, cleanliness of the toilets, and the attitude of the cabin crew. In addition to all this, I will review my experience at Shanghai Airport during my layover. So I had to book a last-minute flight from Ho Chi Minh City to London, and because I needed to book a flight within 24 hours, I was very limited as to which airlines I could fly with, and my best option was one of the Chinese airlines. So I decided to book with China Eastern. Never flown with them before. I had a quick search after I booked my flight, and the reviews were very mixed. But most people were saying that it's not the best airline to fly with, the food isn't the best. So I'm a bit worried, but I'm gonna film the whole process and, film what it's like to fly with China Eastern. Now, I had an issue with checking in. I was able to check in online for the first leg, but it wasn't letting me check in for the second leg. So I'm queuing up in this long queue. But I don't know if I've got enough time. It's 1:30, I've got 2 hours, so I should have enough time to go through security. I hope. So I managed to check into my flight, and somehow I was able to avoid the queue because I went up to the front and I told the lady, I'm unable to check into the second leg of my flight. She printed out a boarding pass for me for the second leg, and she said that the reason why you couldn't check into the second one was perhaps system error. But then she did weigh my cabin bag. It was overweight, and she ended up putting that through as checked luggage, which I'm really annoyed about, because I'm scared I might lose my bag now. I'll go through security now. The queue doesn't look too long, so that's good. No cameras, so I'm gonna have to switch that off. It took a very long time to get stamped out as well. There's a huge queue, and I arrived just in time because as soon as I arrived, within 5 minutes, the queue had gotten even longer. I had to wait about 35 minutes to get stamped out. And if I had arrived about 10-15 minutes later, I probably would have had to wait over an hour, so it would have been very close, and there would have been a real chance that I could have missed my flight. So if you're flying out from Ho Chi Minh City, make sure you come really early, 3 hours early. I've heard that the food is really, really bad, so I'm not looking forward to that. I did buy some snacks from 7-Eleven on my way to the airport, so if it's really bad, I can always just snack on that stuff. I've got a window seat, which I don't normally go for. I managed to find a seat. Man that was sitting next to me saw the camera and left. Okay. So apparently there's been an issue with my bag. I completely forgot that I've got 2 power banks. One of them is in my backpack, and one of them was supposed to be in the cabin bag that they made me check in. So yeah, now I have to take it out, I guess. I think someone else also put a power bank in their cabin bag, so it's less embarrassing. So it turns out I did have an extra power bank in my bag, which is why they called me over. I took it out, but the other lady that they called, she had 8 different lighters in her bag. She was a backpacker, and she just had lighters in every single compartment. They're just finishing off boarding now. They were quite quick actually with boarding.
Power banks are not allowed during the whole flight. For laptops and other non-battery electric devices, please properly place and turn off the power. If your electric devices slip into the seat,
The bathroom looks good. It's really clean, spacious enough. I'm 191 centimeters and I don't touch the top. We did have our first meal and I really liked it. It was just a bun, cereal bar, which was really good. And we just got milk. It was literally just milk. I also got a Coke and I asked for a second drink. I got pineapple juice. Yeah, I was happy with the first meal that they gave us. Coming onto this flight, I was told the meals were disgusting, but yeah, although you can't really judge it based on what they gave us because it was very basic stuff, but so far it's been good. The flight has been comfortable. I'm happy so far. The whole boarding process was really good as well. They got it done quite quickly. I'm actually really surprised because the seats don't have an entertainment system. So yeah, you've got nothing to watch, which is a bit disappointing. Now this is the first leg of my 2 flights. It's only 4 hours long and most people are sleeping anyway. But the next flight is 13 hours and I'm really hoping that there is an entertainment system because it will be a very boring 13 hours if you can't watch anything. The seats are really comfortable, they're very spacious. The airplane in general is really new. I'm gonna go back and try and maybe do some editing. So we just made it to Shanghai. That was a very comfortable flight. Happy with the first leg. I've heard a lot of negative reviews about the whole process of transitioning through this airport. Let's see if it's as bad as people make it out to be. In order to access the Wi-Fi, you have to put in your passport details. Look at how much smog there is outside. When we were landing, you could barely see anything. I think this is all pollution. It's 7:45 right now, and the gate opens in 1 hour and 10 minutes for my next flight. I'm gonna try and run as quick as I can, go through immigration, and then try and sort out the Wi-Fi. And I'll see if the guy who made a really negative YouTube video about this airlines and this airport is correct or if he's just lying. Arrivals this way. Okay, so I tried to connect to the Wi-Fi a few times and I can't seem to get it working. I've just seen a kiosk and yeah, I'll have a go on that, and it just says join. It just gives you a tick mark, but you can't actually put in your passport details, so it won't give you access to the internet. Very frustrating. So I figured out what you need to do in order to log into the Wi-Fi. It's a bit tricky. So when you land, don't try to connect to the Wi-Fi, because if you try to connect the first time and you cross out the pop-up window, it won't come up again. Doesn't matter what you do, you can restart your phone, forget the Wi-Fi, it won't work. So what you need to do is don't try to connect to the Wi-Fi. And once you get to one of these kiosks, you need to put your passport in and then it will give you a number. But you've got a time limit. I think it was like 30 seconds. And you've got to get this Wi-Fi code into the pop-up before the time runs out. Only then it will work. If you don't follow those instructions, you're going to be without Wi-Fi. Luckily, I had a second phone and I was able to do it with my second phone, I think. There's login required, connected. Let's see if it works now. I've seen a number of people like really frustrated because they did the same thing. They tried to connect as soon as they landed. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work. I mean, I'm connected. Yeah, it's not really giving me access to the internet, or it's just really slow. So basically the guy who made a video about the Wi-Fi situation was right. I've seen so many tourists trying to connect to the Wi-Fi and it's not working. So the issue was like when you first try to log into the Wi-Fi, the pop-up window comes up, but when you cross it, it doesn't come up again the second time you try to log in. And I've tried to restart my phone, forget the Wi-Fi, rejoin again. It won't work. I managed to get it to connect to the Wi-Fi on the second phone, but even though it's connected, it's not giving me access to the Wi-Fi, which is crazy. Like, this is the biggest airport in China and you can't get access to Wi-Fi. So I'm just about to board the second leg of my flight. You're flying through Shanghai. Try and make your layover as short as possible. Luckily, I was only here for like an hour and a bit, so I just did some editing. Thank you. The first leg of the flight was actually quite good. Everyone on the flight was nice, like all the flight attendants. The airplane was nice and new, the seats were comfortable. The only issue I had was there was no entertainment system. I don't know, maybe if you go to one of the lounges, it might be easier to connect to the Wi-Fi. Don't rely on the airport Wi-Fi. Thank you. Don't rely on the airport Wi-Fi. I think this is a bigger airplane, so the one that I was on before was 3 seats. I think this one's going to be 242 configuration. They've given me 32C. I think that's an aisle seat. No. Thank you. Thank you. This isn't actually too bad. You know, this plane looks older than the one that I was on, but there's more legroom. So we're halfway through the flight, and this is what the toilet looks like at the moment. It looks pretty clean. I don't know if one of the flight attendants has come in and cleaned this. Obviously the toilet has been used many times, but it's very clean, as you can see. So they get an extra point for clean toilets. The food was actually not too bad. So they had 2 options. They had pork and beef. The beef noodles was actually really good. The beef was very tender, nice flavor, but they had some pickles, and I think there was like a sausage in there. Didn't look great. And what else did they have? Oh, they had some watermelon, which was all right. There wasn't really any dessert. The dessert was just a Biscoff biscuit with some butter, and then afterwards they went around giving people bread. I think that there were a few people that ordered seconds, so they had plenty of extra meals as well. I'm gonna go back and take a nap. The seat's relatively comfortable. It reclines quite a bit, so you can actually sleep. I took a nice nap in it. So far it's not been bad. I was expecting it to be horrible. But it's been decent. The flight attendants are really nice. I've been asking for loads of water, drinks, and tea, and they've been bringing it to me. Very limited English, but they try really hard to understand you. Flight attendants, definitely 10 out of 10. They've been very helpful. If you found this video helpful, then you should check out this video next, where I get free entry to an airport lounge in Abu Dhabi